I've just watched all the pre-match press conferences of all the teams and see, Jesus Christ, the kind of things I've seen over there, seriously, especially for Enzo Maresca and Chelsea. I mean, he was asked to respond to himself and opinion about him. What he's saying, he said he doesn't particularly want to become the best friend of the players. No, now he just wants to tell them the truth. No, he responded to it. It was a very funny one. We'll talk about it. He analyzed the Chelsea game. In fact, he analyzed the Chelsea versus Tottenham per game. No, and we'll talk about it. Also, of course, he talked about weekend games there. Because spoke about the injury situation that will come. Of course, there is also Carlo Ancelotti wedding come at Madrid about the Madrid team that's going to be go on to go and play against Girona. Spoke about Mbappe, spoke about Alaba, Vinicius Jr., any players, and then also there are a lot of the pre-match press conference all through Europe. A lot of them, of course, there are a lot of games because all throughout Europe. Look at the number of games. There are a lot of games in the English Premier League or China. Everton and Liverpool, but I told you why that game is an important one. Early kickoff, Everton versus Liverpool. At 12:30 at Goodison Park. It's a game that you don't want to miss. Aston Villa and Southampton, important game also. Brentford versus Newcastle, huge game that we have to talk about. Crystal Palace, any Manchester City away at Selhurst Park. Then there's going to Manchester United, any Nottingham Forest. Difficult game for Manchester United and Nottingham Forest. We'll talk about Ruben Amorim team, any the kind of opposition on Beshia against Nottingham Forest. We'll talk about that in the French League. And then Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern of Oliver Kosen will play against St. Pauli. There's going to be Bayern München, any Headingham. Also over there, Frankfurt and Augsburg. There's going to be a game in the Genoa, Torino in the Italian Serie A, Juventus, Bologna. Also, it means that Thiago Motta will go and play, will host the former team of Bologna. There's going to be AS Roma versus Lecce over there. So La Liga, Las Palmas, any Real Valladolid, and Barca, any Real Betis, Babocina, of course, Girona, any Real Madrid will play tomorrow. All of them away games. Of course, in the Spanish La Liga, we understand Barca for a BA point in him after say Madrid a drop a point against team your friend Athletic Bilbao. So Barca the 4-point advantage going on in the past 2 hours or 3 hours or even a day. I've been telling you, the Spanish La Liga considers Madrid game so many Valencia they are going to possibly play it on the 2nd of January. So it's a huge possibility, but then it is not cast in stone. And it's certain say basically until every time say Madrid ends a Valencia match because around that time the Spanish La Liga is going to be on break. In fact, break will end on the 2nd of January. I think they will go somewhere in the later part of December. They resume somewhere around the 3rd of January thereabout. But around that time, there's a possibility of Valencia and the Real Madrid Ibiza. Now that is where Madrid for boss are matching. But before that, this weekend there are games because like I did mention, Barca, any team. Barca, any team your friend Real Betis, they are going to play against a former manager of Real Madrid and of course former manager of Manchester City in Real Betis over there. A game that is going to be keenly contested. So if you look at the table of the Spanish La Liga as it stands now, Real Betis are in the top 10, almost 20 points as it stands now over there when you compare the two sides. And when you look at Betis, home form now has been very, very good. With respect to how they go over last week, and Omulusu 2-0 against Real Sociedad last weekend. And results, Emma Oshe team, my friend Real Betis, that they've been in the last 4 games, only a winless, 2 draws, 2 losses over there in the Spanish La Liga. That include consecutive defeats by a 2-goal margin. Manager Manuel Pellegrini looks to revive his side campaign and plot a way back into the table with a run of 4 consecutive top 7 league finishes at the risk of ending Real Betis in the last few years. In fact, in the last couple of years, consistently, Spanish La Liga, and they are always in the top 7. They do very well. But after losing 2 games and drawn 2 of them, the last time was the 2-0 against Team FN Real Sociedad. It has made it tough for them. But away from all of that, they seem to do well. In fact, all of the 2 losses and 2 draws the 2 draws they hardly lose when they play at home. So it is a game where you expect that Real Sociedad will do well. You expect that Real Betis will do well. Even though against Sociedad or they are likely to fall back on home advantage here as the Estadio Benito Villamarin has been near fortress for them in this season. winning 4 of the last 6 games at home and drawing 1 and losing just 1. But stretching that run to the game against Barcelona looks set to be tricky as Betis have more games. Have lost more games in the club's history to the Catalan Giants, 85, than any other in the Spanish side. Barcelona are likely to travel with confidence, knowing that they have a very good head-to-head against them, especially in the last few ones. So in the 4 games, they've won 1, drawn 1, and then lost 2, with 5-1 thrashing of Mallorca on Tuesday. Another win here will strengthen Barcelona's chances of winning the La Liga this season. Visitors haven't lost an away league head-to-head since March 2008. And it tells you, of course, Barca for former player, Bencher friend Victor Roque, Abuku trouble his former side in the Spanish La Liga there. And Fahon say, oh, parents club, and then say, oh, parents club. When you come up against them, you can go on and then go and play. It's a huge one for FC Barcelona. And I know probably would see Hansi Flick in some wedding come up or in the lead up to some match and the things that Hansi Flick have said about what his team can do, what his team can do against team, your friend FC Real Betis. It tells you that it's a tough one for them now. They are going into the game in preparation, pushing hard and making sure so many results now on them. Barca recent games on board, especially the last time out now, they weren't happy with the results that they had. Well, now it's Victor Roque. Also, the players who stood up for me during my time at Barcelona, definitely Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, any other friend Frankie de Jong were excellent over there. Victor Roque say, little by little, I'm adapting to Real Betis with persistence and hard work. Things work out. And now, I want to score goals to help the team. Definitely means saying I'm not much now. Victor Roque would want to score a goal for the team. Your friend Real Betis against his mother club, FC Barcelona. I see myself scoring against Barcelona, God willing, because that's what he wants to work for all week. If I score, I want to celebrate out of respect. Talking about a better friend, Victor Roque, and in a game, I am not much now. Against the parents club, FC Barcelona. We want to see how that one goes on in there. Barca prepare in earnest to make sure say they get a result. Obviously, we have mentioned the fact that Barca are close to getting a brand here. Your friend Jonathan Tah to become part of our centre backs. Which on Muti anti-Flick and Opawia. Real Betis is a very good team. They have a very experienced core of players. We know that Isco has returned. He's a very good player. And at the end of the day, he has always been able to press up high and then want to exploit us. The last time I was telling you, say when teams sit up Barcelona, not say Barca are able to. Say teams about attack you. Not say Barca team isolate players 1v1. No going to the channels. No more isolating Lamine Yamal and Rafinha. They tend to do very well. Different from when teams are good and successful with their press and they prevent Barca from playing now. And also, say teams need a good in their press and counter press, not more aggressive. No more pinning Barca back. It's difficult for Barca to really get results. And we saw it against Las Palmas, Real Sociedad, any Celta Vigo, the teams that give Barca a run for their money. And Real Betis is the same kind of team or pressing wall or counter press, especially at home, a lot of intensity. So it may be hard for Barca to get to isolate their players to 1v1. But Hansi Flick says that he's confident, so it's making a results now away at Real Betis. Flick, it's very important to have the same mentality as it was in Mallorca. We need Rafinha in all games. He has been available and okay, he will play. And if it's 90 minutes, that's fine. Then he will. If not, then Les Lewy is starting tomorrow. Ronald Araujo, he won't be ready for tomorrow. Maybe against Dortmund. That's a huge boost for Barcelona. So many are here. Your friend Ronald Araujo to join their team to travel and go and play against Dortmund over the week, in the Champions League, which is an important one for them. And we wait to see how that is going to go. And of course, Real Madrid have been boosted by a brand here, your friend of Vinicius Jr., any brand here, friend of David Alaba. I did mention to you, said these two players may not particularly play this weekend against Tima and when they go away to go and play against Girona, but definitely very important games in there. And on Sunday, there is a big one in the English Premier League, and that's huge one because at Stamford Bridge. And the two managers have spoken. First of all, a Tottenham former manager, your friend Ange Postecoglou. He spoke about a lot of things. He spoke about Chelsea. He spoke about the team. He spoke about how he thinks teams lining up. We'll talk about stuff like that, and then we'll get into the details of how things have been said. In fact, Tottenham Hotspur have just won one of their last 11 Premier League games against Chelsea. In that run, they've drawn 2, lost 8, picking up a 2-0 win in February 2023. Chelsea have won 35 Premier League games and scored 116 games against Tottenham Hotspur, more than they have done against any opponent. Cole Palmer It's talking about a lot of things as well. But let's listen to Ange Postecoglou and what he gets from the team, you know, anyhow they've been struggling. Then, of course, we'll go and listen to Enzo Maresca on Ning Samuel Kanye, and of course, the time the pre-match press conference. And of course, Ange Postecoglou say it is positive about facing Chelsea. We have done well against teams up in the end of the table, on the top end of the table, not just wins, but played really well. Whether that's Man City or Man United or Villa, but it doesn't eliminate what happened last night. That still it needs to be addressed. We will put in the work and then now on aside and then try to get a big win on Sunday. Postecoglou said Chelsea are going really well. They are in a good space at the moment with fairly healthy squad and in good form. Always a tough game against them, but we are home and we need to make sure we produce performance like we have in other games. Talking about Chelsea. So, like I did say, within Enzo Maresca say, although the centre backs of Tottenham must be Vime Prano, although I am very certain, say, Tottenham I'm centre back, the leader of the back, a friend Kuti Romero, is going to be back for this game. So, it means that it's not going to be a walk in the park for Chelsea. And if you listen to Ange Postecoglou, this season, although they've not done well, they're consistent. They played particularly well against the big boys. Into ref, they got results against Villa. They got results against Manchester United. They beat Manchester City back to back. It's a team that you don't want to just write off and say Chelsea be sure. And Enzo Maresca echo on the pre-match press conference. He spoke about certain details, spoke about what he wants from his players, spoke about how he wants to get up from his players, spoke about noni madu issue now, and then training no he went in there. The first thing that Enzo Maresca kind of said, ni players no more prepare na year 3. There is Wesley Fofana who is out for a couple of weeks. There is Rhys James who's also out, and there's also a bunch of Mihailo Modric or Yari or Mihailo Modric at home for or Yari Kaka. So he's going to be out over there. Then he goes on to talk about the title. He's not saying Wakasa break. For him, he doesn't. Do you know what? The things Enzo Maresca said in the end. Yeah, couldn't go see our video. Then we'll come back. We'll talk about Enzo Maresca. And then in common, we'll analyze those things and then we'll go on to come back in the conversation. Let's listen to Enzo Maresca.
Southampton, and how are the rehabs of Fofana and Rhys James going?
Yeah, both. They are slowly getting better. But as we said the other day, it's a matter of weeks. They are still far. And the only one that is still ill is Misha Modric. And the rest, they are all okay.
Tottenham on Sunday, you were back in the top 2 of the Premier League for the first time in a few years. The fans are singing your name. They're singing, "We've got our Chelsea back," and they're excited. Why aren't Chelsea in the title race?
No, I said we are very happy for the fans. Absolutely, because they deserve to live this moment. They can dream, we are very happy. And I said, we work every day to also to make them happy and proud of the players. And then for the rest, nothing to add. I said many times, I don't think we are there and we are ready to compete with Arsenal, Liverpool and City. And yeah.
You're also the top scorers though in the Premier League, 31 goals so far. No one has scored that many, so surely you must have a chance with those goals you're scoring.
Yeah, but also you have to do many more things good, not only score goals. You also have to avoid to concede goals. That overall I think also defensively we are doing quite well. But I said we are just focused on Sunday game, and then the next one we are not thinking about April, May, June, these kind of things because it's too early. And in football, everything can change very quick. So the focus is just to Sunday game and today's session and tomorrow's session. This is the only things that I'm worried and concerned.
So it's too early to think about the Club World Cup that Chelsea have been drawn in. What are your thoughts about that generally? Are you concerned about the issue of player welfare? Have you got any concern at all about that right now?
No, I said, not only me, many times we said that there are so many games, it's difficult, but we see when we are close to May, June, July, how we arrive, and then from there we prepare our competition.
Just on Sunday, what about Spurs? Obviously they were beaten at Bournemouth last night and Ange got a load of stick from some of the fans at the end of the game. What did you make of that? Was that unfair?
I think it's nothing new in terms of we depends a little bit on the results of the situation, and then it's a fair or unfair. It's our job.
And also, Tottenham are running out of centre backs. Ben Davies played last night. He's got a scan today. Romero may not be fit. Do you think with their lack of fit defenders, Cole Palmer and Jackson can exploit this on Sunday?
We try always to exploit, no matter the other team or the defenders that they are there. For sure, I think Romero can be back, so probably Romero can be the solution for them in this moment, but we see.
You have some things to say about Madueke at Southampton about training harder, showing more ambition. We saw him training this morning. Is he taking that on board?
Yeah, absolutely. No.
May not be fit. Do you think with their lack of fit defenders, Cole Palmer and Jackson can exploit this on Sunday?
We try always to exploit, no matter the other team or the defenders that they are there. For sure, I think Romero can be back, so probably Romero can be the solution for them in this moment, but we see.
You have some things to say about Madueke at Southampton about training harder, showing more ambition. We saw him training this morning. Is he taking that on board?
Yeah, absolutely. No, but Noni, I said, is overall is working well since we start, but sometimes it drops a little bit and it's not allowed to drop. It's just, but in terms of numbers, he's doing fantastic. Goal, assist, off the ball when we ask him to defend and to press, he's doing very well. The only reason I said this the other day is because I want the best for Noni. And probably the only way to get the best from him is to push him every time. And in the moment that he relaxes a little bit, he's wrong.
Just finally, you were able to change 7 members of the team at Southampton. Unusual for a Premier League game. How much of a good thing was that before this big match at Tottenham?
Since we start, we try to share minutes and to change players. We did exactly the same thing against Southampton. For sure, when you change 7 in Premier League, can be a big number, but they all deserve minutes. And the good thing is that no matter how many players we change, you can see the identity of the team and the team doing the right things. So this is the best thing.
John?
Hi Enzo, just going back to Noni, he said after your comments, he said you're not necessarily a coach that's trying to be best friends with everybody, but you're straight and fair, which is all you can ask for. Is that a fair assessment of your coaching style?
No, I try to be not friend, but I try to be close to the players. But sometimes, even when you want to be friend, between friends, when you say something wrong to your friend, sometimes he's not happy. But he has to know that what you say is because you want to take care of him. And again, the only reason I said this about Noni is because I want the best for him.
How hard a balance is that to strike? You want to keep the players happy. You don't want to be a close friend with them. But you also, you've got a big squad and you need to try and keep them all happy, and that's impossible, isn't it?
But I try to be quite. I said many times in the way I like to our relation with the players is to be quite close. You also can see a little bit. In the past I was a Leicester. I have a fantastic relation with the players. I love them. They love. Also, I mean, this is the way I like to. Our relation with players, and the same thing I'm trying to do here. The problem is when you say something that they don't like, they feel that you don't want to be close.
Yeah, so that was Enzo Maresca, and in Nkoma Odi, our Chelsea pre-match press conference, the things that he said, he spoke about our title race. Still, Chelsea drew the level of Liverpool and Arsenal and Manchester City. But the truth of the matter is that Enzo Maresca just wants to manage expectations. He really wants to manage expectations. He doesn't want to put a lot of pressure on the boys now. He knows that he is in the title run. like I said, you're a Chelsea fan, but you also need to manage expectation. He knows that he can go on and win games. Really, what will be the huge testament of time to say that Chelsea really can win and can go on into the title charge is if they put up consistent results. Into games now, kind of, if Chelsea can really put up consistent results, if they can win, if they can prevent losses there, then definitely it's going to put them in a very good place. Now, on business, I'm not even doing something. And a journalist, Marigache, Enzo said, yeah, to say, team, not even can reply. And I need some kind of some person or trying to say, on only or J2 when you play our person who plays now for and I saw my best so David. On when you players most of the times so you're now for he is their friends. But the thing is that even as we're now for kind of person kind of pressure, or your friend wants you to tell him the truth, and that's what he has been doing. Noni Madueke, he wants the best out of him in terms of Noni Madueke. And I think it's important that Enzo Maresca is getting the best out of the players, not pushing them to get results, pushing them to play well, pushing them to get the best out of themselves. Enzo Maresca, I try to have a close relationship with the players. He goes on to talk about Enzo Fernandez, because he's improving a lot, especially in terms of understanding the game and the position. That's what I spoke about this morning. The in-game position of Enzo Fernandez without the ball. Which positions, which zones he's supposed to occupy, which position he has to get into, and make sure that he can be good physically and be aggressive small. So maybe he will not be overrun easily like that. This is what we need from the attacking players. He has many things he can do better, but not only him. All of the players talking about Enzo Fernandez. He spoke about also Chelsea Maxman. I mean, not Maxman, but an important player, Moises Caicedo, from inverting from the right. It's something that was in our mind since the day one, but because of Romeo's injury, and then Enzo moment, we use Moy as a holding midfielder. We use him right back last game, and in the future we can expect to see him there for sure. It could be an option. He spoke about the number of games and the minutes. I was upset for the first 15 to 20 minutes against Southampton because we were wrong in the way we were pressing. I called some of the players to the bench, I needed to change. If you don't press Southampton man to man, you will struggle to recover the ball. You have to press them man to man. Enzo Maresca, in terms of points and the way we want to play on and off the ball, I was convinced 100% we would reach this level, but not at this time, but not at this rate over there, talking about what he wants to do over them. So Enzo Maresca spoke about a lot of things over there, and he also goes on to talk about how he can head Tottenham Hotspur like in the channels, and how he can play out from the back, and which is an important one, I mean, for himself. Of course, there are a lot of other games he didn't come on in terms of what the managers are saying, pre-match press conferences, my key contributors, Liverpool's match defense, my assistant coach over there, and slots Akasa in that big game in the Merseyside derby. Diego and Slot spoke about Diogo Jota, but he's so close to being back. Federico close to being back, and the same for Alisson. Only Conor, Ibu, and Costas are a bit further away, but I'm waiting to get them back. Enra, Egyptian football analyst from Bein Sports, on Mohamed Salah. Congratulations on renewing your contract with a number you like in the period you want. The Egyptian king rules with his own judgment. Take with a pinch of salt, reliably unknown. But let's hope that it is true. Talking about how Enra, a journalist in Egypt, I report said Mohamed Salah has gone on to renew his contract for Team Friend with Liverpool. Wait to see if that's one makes sense. Of course, Ibu Konate was the final stage of the contract extension. Fabrizio Romano and they make his assertion on Liverpool. When you're watching a big game to play over there, to play against Team your friend Aston Villa. Wait to see how that one goes over there. Of course, there are lots of games. What's the options on Milos Kerkez, a huge player for Liverpool. That Liverpool can bring from Team my friend in Bournemouth over there. There are lots of games that are going to go on. Man City, everybody match week, and the pre-match conversation all across all the games in Europe. Barca, Madrid, Chelsea, Liverpool, of course Arsenal. It didn't come over the weekend. They have a huge game as well. Mikel Arteta has spoken about the things that he wants to do. Of course, Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Arsenal know. So once they go away to go and play against Fulham, you'll get results. Of course, we'll see you. Bye-bye.